A super teachers is clear, is clear. A super teacher is clear. What does that mean? Super teachers are clear in two things. Are clear in their instruction. Instruction here means teaching. Okay. So if you're not an English teacher, you might not know what instruction means. Instruction means teaching. So in their teaching and in their expectations of students. And that is so important. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question here, and you can all help me out. This is something that has happened to me in the past many times. Okay, many times. I teach something, I explain something, and then while I'm explaining it, I look at my kids and I can see in their eyes, I can feel it in my heart that they don't understand what I just said fully. I mean, I'm just talking and saying things and explaining, and they're just nodding their heads, but I can tell, I can feel that they don't understand. I'm not clear enough. But what do? I just move on because nobody asked a question. I think they don't understand, but I just move on. Or, and tell me if you guys do this, tell me now, answer this question. Or I say, well, I feel that they don't understand. Let me ask them, people, do you all understand? And they all say, yes. Does anybody have a question? No. So I move on. Has this happened to you before? Have you felt that you were not clear enough, that your students didn't understand fully, and you just asked them, are you all okay? And they said yes, and then you just moved on? If this has happened to you, let me know, please, now. Come on. Tell me in the comments, tell me in the chat, tell me in the video, wherever you are, has this happened to you? Have you felt that they don't understand and you just asked them to have a clear conscience? Are you all good? They all said yes, and then you moved on. So I have no, I have never, I have yes. Super. When that happens, I re-explain in a different way. Excellent. Okay, it's never fulfilling, so no. All right, these are answers from super teachers. So excellent. Excellent that you all said no. But you may say no because this hasn't happened to you yet, but it might happen someday, okay? If you feel that they don't understand, you should proactively re-explain, explain in another way, ask them questions to know whether they understood or not. This is what we call formative questions, okay? But never, ever, ever take their, we're okay, we're good, and move on. Because a lot of times your students don't understand, okay? But they don't want you to reteach. They want to finish. And so when you ask them, do you understand? They just say yes. Or you have a couple of students who don't understand, but when they find that the rest of the class says everything is good, they're embarrassed to say that they don't understand. So it's on you, teacher, super teacher. If you feel that they don't understand, then you are not being clear enough, then you need to do something. Okay. Thank you all. Now, here's another one. Super teachers have to be very clear with their expectations. That's so important. Your students need to know what is expected of them. You can't tell them today to hand in a report about a certain topic. And then when they come next time with that report, you say, no. This report is too long. It has to be only 1 page. So go back and do it, please. Then they go back and they do the report in 1 page. And then they come back to you and they give it to you and say, no. That's not what I meant. I mean, it has to be 1 page that shows the process in using some kind of diagram or drawing. It can't just be, it's not an essay. Go do it again. By that time, you have lost the interest of your students completely, because they will translate this into this teacher doesn't know what he wants. This teacher just changes his mind every day. This is useless. Whatever I do, he won't like. You have to be very clear with what you want them to learn, what you want them to do, how homework should be done, how notes should be taken in class, how they should answer your questions, how they should ask their questions, when they should do this, when they should do that. If you are very clear with your expectations, you will have an orderly classroom, a good, effective classroom. But if your expectations are all over the place, you will never have a proper classroom. All right? In a clear lesson, people, students know what they should do and what they should learn. This is very important. If your class is a good class, then the students should always know anytime during the year, anytime during the class, they should always know what they should do, what is being asked of them. Should they sit down? Should they stand up? Should they raise their hands? Should they go? Should they come? Should they write? Should they not? They have to know exactly what they should do throughout the class, throughout the year. And they should always know what they should learn. And this is what we call objectives. And I know a lot of us were trained that we must write the objectives of the class, of the lesson, on the board before we begin. Tell me, people, is this something that you have been trained on doing? Is this something that you have learned that you need to do? That I need to go and write down the objectives every class on the board? Yes? You should have. I mean, this is standard. If you've learned teaching anywhere, if you've read any book about teaching, your school, your administrators, your head of department, they'll always tell you should write the objectives. Okay? So, but it's not about writing the objectives. Now, it's strange that some people are saying no, because this is like teaching 101. It's a standard thing. Okay? Should always write your objectives on the board. Don't just, now write this down, people. Don't just write the lesson's objectives. Okay? Explain the objectives to your students. So now let's just really quickly explain what the objectives are, because apparently some people don't use this, even though you have to. Objectives are the intended consequences of your lesson. So the objective is today for the student to be able to multiply 2-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. Okay? Perfect. It is what you should be able to do at the end of the lesson. Exactly. That's a very good definition. Thank you, sir. Okay? So, for example, by the end of the lesson, you should be able to tell the different types, or compare and contrast the different types of changes in matter, chemical changes versus physical changes, for example. Okay, this is your objective. What happens is a lot of us write this down in our lesson plan because we have to. We go into the classroom, we write it on the board because we have to, and then we just move on. And for the students, this is just, I mean, it's nothing. It's like you've written something in Chinese on the board. It doesn't make any sense. You have to explain the objectives. You have to explain to your students at the beginning of the lesson what we're going to learn today. Why are we learning this? By the end of today's lesson, this is what you should be able to do. You have to explain this to them. They have to understand it. Once they do, number one, this internalizes the goal. They know that they're reaching something, because it's really, really bad for us humans to do something without knowing that there's an objective, there's an end in sight, there's a reason for what we're doing. We're just doing it because we're doing it, okay? So it's really important for them to know that they need to reach something, okay? That's really, really important. Explain the objectives. And I have a little trick, okay? I have a little trick. Let me write this here. When I write my objectives in my lesson plan, when I explain my objectives to my students, I always think, What will my students answer their parents' question when they go home? What is the parents' question? The most famous question all parents ask. What did you learn today in school? Okay? This is what I do. Let me discuss this with you further. This is what I do. I always think my students are going to go home. When they go home, their mom or their dad will ask them, so what did you learn in school today? Usually, what students say is nothing. I don't remember. Something. Boys will probably brush the question as not even answer. Somebody might say, well, we learned something that has to do with order in math, the order of something. I don't remember what it's called. This is plus and minus and stuff like that. We learned about the planets and the, what's it called? They go around things. This is what they learn from your lesson. This is how you look as a teacher in the eyes of parents. It's not the student's fault, it's your fault. You didn't explain to them what they're learning. You didn't give them the clear objectives. You didn't explain the objectives. So always think, what will they tell their parents when they go home and their parents ask them, what did you learn today? Okay? Yes, students should go home